What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're not alone. We got Ash on the channel. 5 months later, it feels like it's been ages. I grew a beard.
It does, man.
I look like Santa, you know. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm doing pretty well. Nice of you to finally ask, bro.
I know, right?
I'm glad to be here, man. We joked about this on my channel as well, but it's been too long. I'm excited to talk some Raid with you, man.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So we've done a video on Ash's channel, guys. We drafted the Fusion Champions. If Barbarian was nice enough to give us the option to pick 10 Fusion Champions, you know, so we went 10 me, 10 Ash. Definitely check out that video. It was tons of fun. And in today's video, guys, we're actually going to talk about the new feature in Raid Shadow Legends, Epic Empowerment, but mainly one epic champion, one epic nuker that you absolutely must empower from each faction, guys. Now, a lot of these factions have tons and tons of awesome epic nukers, right? And it's going to be pretty hard on some of them, but I feel like some of them don't even have good nukers.
Right? Yeah. Someone's going to be hard, someone's going to be easy. I have to ask, man, because we haven't chatted about it, but just in general, has Epic Empowerment made like an impact on your account or your viewers? Like, what's the feedback that you're hearing about it? Are people like excited about it now that it's actually a thing?
So I think people are excited. Like, I think me and you, we are the two people that ask Barbarian more than we can count to bring Epic Empowerment to the game. I feel like we've done so many collabs
now. My victory celebration is over, and I'm like, okay, rare empowerment. When?
Yeah, that's next. Probably like a couple of years from now. I'm sure they will bring it in the end. And I feel like the main reason why they brought it in is because of the Cursed City, you know, because you need them. Like, for me, they made a massive impact in here. Now,
so true.
I was one of those people that fed all the epics before, so I barely got any empowerment out of this. So this, for a lot of people, is another reason to spend money and purchase shards, summon to empower their epics, especially the Pokemon collectors, you know. So you do gotta pick wisely what epics you're empowering. You do want to pick wisely what you're keeping in your faction guardians, because it does look nice to have them all empowered. But if you're gonna empower all of them, and if you're a free-to-play, a low spender, bro, you're gonna have no chickens, you know? You're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. Faction Guardians first and foremost, and then it becomes a decision, to your point, which is why we make these videos, because I'm sure initially probably viewers are like, dude, I'm empowering the champions that I have. That's the answer of who I'm empowering.
Yeah.
But it's like, now you have to prioritize some over others when it comes to your Faction Guardians, who you're gonna put there versus empowering, you know?
100%. Like, I had to remove champions from my Faction Guardians, for example, that I was keeping in as solid dupes, you know, and I just cut them off, empowered them, and instead I brought in champions that I'm not even using at all, and I've put them in the Faction Guardians just to have them there, you know, to be able to empower my my stronger ones. So yeah, it's definitely a game where you need to pay attention to what you're doing. But you're the guest, Banner Lords, bring it on.
You suck, bro. I love you. You suck. It gives me Banner Lords. Banner Lords. I'm just joking. I give you first draft and a draft pick in the fusion draft. I don't feel like this is as good, this opportunity.
It's not.
Banner Lord Nuker. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go with oh man. It's weird. It's weird because I don't want to hem and haw on every choice here. I think every faction other than Banner Lords, I have a decisive choice. But it's like between like 6 supports, right? Basically here. Lady Quillen can smack, actually, but like I'm also not going out of my way to empower her, unfortunately. So I'm actually going to go with, I'm sure it's not who you would ever choose in a million years, but I'm actually going to go with Oathbound.
It's actually a solid one, yeah.
Yeah. Oathbound can hit hard for a defensive-based damage dealer. He has an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. Good multipliers for an epic. He's not going to like nuke, you know, the socks off of everybody, but specifically because there's a very, very difficult Curse City.
Yeah.
Floor. I always say floor, like I do, but Curse City
19.
area in Soul Cross. That like the only way, not the only way, but all the top players are building like 3 or 4 Oathbounds. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well go with Oathbound here. There's some other choices too, like Archmage can actually do some nice damage, and he's like, you know, he can be kind of an interesting Armon's counter because his turn meter can't be decreased. But I think Oathbound would be my choice.
Yeah, it's definitely I feel like the best pick out of damage dealers from here, like Horde, Knight Aaron, Lady Quillen. These are champions that you're just using for gimmicks, you know. You're not really gonna have a purpose for them. But with
Yep.
Oathbound, while I know most people won't be at that stage at the moment, it will be in the future, and I feel like he's
Yep.
very, very essential for Soulcross, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ulfric too, but we're talking about damage dealers, so I want to keep to the theme.
So we're going to the high elves. Seems like I got the easier pick here, Ash. I'm not sure how that happened, but you have quite a few solid characters in
You
here
have some
as well.
choices, yeah.
And I feel like enemy max HP champions don't really benefit as much from being empowered. While you are getting additional stats on them, is great, right? Don't get me wrong. But their damage, the enemy max HP damage, does not increase because the cap is there in most cases. So I'm going to go with Etlan the Gold. Recently, I pulled the 6-star on him. He's amazing in the Cursed City for me, so he'll be pumping a lot of damage once I'm going to get to empower him. I don't have enough copies to do it, but you have the A1, which deals pretty good damage, the A2 AoE, block active skills, a chance to put through fear, then increase crit damage, increase accuracy, extra turn, bang, move over to the next one, and ignore 10% defense on support champions, which is very, very good.
That passive is super strong. You can deal some damage, man.
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice. I think that intuitively, just like you said, everyone would go Royal Guard. And obviously, to your point, he would benefit. His hamstring still hits hard, and he would still benefit from it for sure. But I like the Ethlin pick. Skaramis, too, as like a HP-based damage dealer. He can put out a little bit of damage himself. But yeah, I think that Ethlin's a great choice there.
Sweet. What do you have from the Sacred Order for us? Let's see.
Sacred Order, man. I could hem and haw again. I do love Inquisitor, but I would go Fennex.
Yeah, I would have gone in the exact same way. Like, I was going to mention Shamel as well. He's solid for high rank power, but he already hits so hard. Like, his A3 already hits so hard when you have the buffs. You ignore 100% of the target's defense. Getting more attack crit damage is definitely very, very nice. But I feel like Fennex, because of that basic skill and how OP it is, yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about him, bro. Because I'm gonna steal him here from you.
No, you can tell. Skratch has a thing for Fennex, and I don't blame him, man. Dude, you said it all. Basically, I mean, we could talk about his whole kit. Like the A3 is great against bosses, deals some nice damage. Turn partners a good lockout or block skills, block buffs. Excuse me. But that put down, man. I mean, it's got like a 4.1 multiplier off the top of my head, I think. It's an insane multiplier. It kills Sun Wukong, and he never comes back. It kills Harima, which is one of the biggest issues in Arena, especially. And it can do things in PvE too, like it can kill an Ice Golem's Guard. It can kill the Frostbiter, and it won't revive even if there's no burn on the Frostbiter, right? So like there's a lot of different use cases you can get out of this A1, and the best thing about it is Epic Empowerment is so powerful that you can get, I forgot what the number is, but you can get basically a third or a half of his attack added on, and
40%, at +4, you're getting 40%.
I mean, I know it's easy to say +4, you need 4 copies of him, but if you slowly work towards that A1 just becomes so extremely even more powerful. You can do so many different things. He's so good on ally attack teams because he's obviously going in with his A1. You can circumvent a UDK with an ally attack in the arena and still kill Sun Wukong, so there's so many different use cases, but he's really, really good.
100%. And how you mentioned empowerment, guys, it's not going to happen overnight for any of us. Like, this is for the long run. Like, I cannot empower all the epics. I barely got any +4s.
Same. How many do you have?
My account. I think I've got quite a few now because I summoned for Armans and I got my Alika and a couple others. But on the day when they introduced this, I think I ended up with 3 +4s. That was it, I
have 2 right now. I mean, I haven't gone through and thoroughly done everybody, but I did like a couple of my favorites, so I'll tease for later.
Yeah, so I actually went and did all that. I sorted out all the epics, the faction guardians, and I've done them. But how I just mentioned it before, from the Barbarians, like, nobody can change my mind. Alika, she's the undisputed most OP. She's just so freaking love Alika.
I don't feel like anybody else talks about her, but I actually got her from you. I saw a video you did like 3 years ago on Alika. And then I stole her. I was like, wow, Alika is awesome.
She's insane. She's insane.
Since then, I've been totally on board.
Like, that A2 on a 2-turn cooldown, ignores 50% of the target's defense. Like, hits so damn hard. And then you can lock skills as well. If you give her a bit of accuracy on a 3-turn cooldown, the A1 a chance to get an extra hit is awesome. Awesome champion, honestly. She does need a lot of books. That's the only problem with her, though.
Yep. She'd be my choice too, because I similar to you, I really like her. But I guess my shout out would be Huskarul. He's
Huskarul is nice too. Yeah,
really solid stunner control, and he actually has, I want to say, like, he and Grush the Mangler are two of the strongest defense-based epic damage dealers in the game. So he can deal some damage too.
100%. Yeah, pretty nice ones. Yeah.
Speaking of Grush the Mangler, I'm not sure if he's my choice though. He's not, as a matter of fact, but I do like him a lot. Yeah, shout out to Grush, man. Just 2 hard-hitting AoEs with a lot of heal debuffs. He's really a super, super good daily login champ.
Yep.
But I have to go with my man. I'm kicking it. I'm kicking it with Siege Hulk, the dude who you can't even show on the game because his character model is so
big.
massive. I love this dude. He's got a freaking ballista or whatever it is on his back. I just love him. He smacks. What more do I have to say about him? The downside to him is obvious. He's so incredibly squishy, which is mitigated by empowerment. So not only are we getting more damage, but we're getting a little bit more survivability as well.
Yep.
So he's great. He's a decreased defense champion who brings his own increased attack, his own increased crit damage, and his own increased crit rate as well. So he brings all the buffs you need. Yeah, the debuffs, a lot of damage. I don't use him a ton, but I do use him in a couple Cursed City areas, and man, I really, really love this guy, you know?
He's max. Yeah, I've empowered mine. I think I have him at +1, but definitely no regrets. I do want to give a shout out from this faction to Skrank. Skrank actually can smack very hard in Hydra guys and areas like this, so he will benefit a lot from empowerment.
That passive,
so he's a nice one. Yeah, exactly, the passive. So pretty solid character in there too.
Lizardmen, the only faction that is
like the Banner Lords
is allergic to adding epics.
Yeah, it seems like it. So right here, there are actually not that many options. I might surprise some of you guys. I might not, but I'm gonna go with Basilisk, man. Again, Cursed City. If you need secret rooms, if you need faction wars, if of course you are at a stage in the game where you can empower champions before you complete faction wars. A1 AoE attack, increased attack on the champion. You have a single target skill that hits pretty hard with a chance to stun, and then he revives himself with block damage. So he can deal some good damage on a stun set. Empowered, he's gonna be even better.
Yeah, he can solo Amos as well.
I think they fixed that.
I was just gonna ask. I was like, unless they fixed that,
they did. So okay, he can still solo the Sand Devil though.
Okay. Well, there you go. I would say Z Itchley is I see her in some of the faster teams in some speed runs in random areas. I know she can smack, but boy, her kit is super underwhelming when you just read it, you know?
Yeah, it's just single hit. I don't think I've used her in the end versus any of the stages in the Cursed City either,
Yeah, anyway, so I digress. Skinwalker time.
What do we have? Curious here.
I wanted to make sure I'm not ignoring somebody else, but no, I'm not.
Is it Yaga?
I think what?
We know it's Yaga. It's Yaga.
It's Yaga. Next. It's a Kemptum, man. A Kemptum is, I don't even consider him a nuker per se, but he just deals a ton of damage, right? Like
he does
between the triple hit, between another triple hit on the A1 and the A2, the poisons, and the inflicting damage from the poisons on the Hex Blood, right? Like this dude, I just feel like whenever I put him in a team, Skratch, I feel like he always does more damage than I'm expecting. You know, I'm like, whoa, I kept him, you know, like, so not only that, but he's the best Hexaplier in the game. And I really like this guy. He would be to me, kind of a no-brainer for me. Here.
Yeah, he's definitely a solid pick. I think I would be in between Akemptum. Basher is a decent option too.
True.
But the thing with Basher, most people will not really build him fully for damage, you know. So I think Akemptum would be the GOAT. Of course, Fane for clan boss if you can, guys, is gonna benefit a lot, you know. She's gonna deal more damage 100%. But if we're talking about more utility in general and bringing in more areas, I do think that Akemptum will probably be the pick for me as well. Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you, Skratch. I actually was making a an arena video a while back, and now that we've talked about Alika and Basher in this video, who would you rather build for arena specifically? Because Basher obviously benefits from the Void Affinity, yeah, and Alika benefits so if you're a player that maybe you have both these champions but you haven't built either, which one would you go with? Because I really couldn't decide. I was like, oh, who do I go with here? You know?
So I think it's more of a question as well. Like, what other champions would you pair with them? You know, I feel like with Alika is safer in a way to go. You know, you're getting your value for the investment because you're having all that crazy damage that can be used in many different areas. While Basher hits fairly decent, I don't think he's anywhere close to what Alika can do. And even in arena, like, if my Alika gets to take a turn, whoever she's gonna hit is gonna die. You know, like there's no chance.
I feel like the AOE on Basher is a bit stronger, but
because
the A2 of Alika is a lot stronger.
Yeah,
you know, so it's tough. Anyway, I digress, man. But
so
interesting to get your opinion on that.
Is it me on the orcs?
I think it's you. Yes, I went with a Kempton.
Okay, so no questions asked. Tolv the meme is the one that I would never empower.
But I was like, wait a second.
No, I was just trolling.
I just have such respect and reverence for your knowledge of the game that I was like, okay, what does he know that I don't know?
No, I'm just messing around with that one. There are actually some awesome champions.
Yeah, there are.
So recently I've done a video, World's Strongest Seer, right? +4, 6-star, all the crazy things on her. And honestly, what I do think is nice, is a good show to see her like that. I don't think she needs it. I don't think she needs it. You know, she already destroys with that karma burn as long as you have a decent amount of buffs. So I feel
like one buff can be so much more than +4 empowerment, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think my pick would still be Zargala because she will really, really benefit a lot. You know, like her skills deal the damage based on attack. She needs the accuracy to apply defense down and weaken. She needs the speed to go in front of the rest of the damage dealers while she is dealing the damage to apply the defense down. So I feel like every little thing that comes in the empowerment, it really, really helps Zargala more than it helps Seer.
Zargala definitely can smack. There's no doubt about it. I'm not a Zargala hater, but I would go with Tagore, man. Tagore! No, I'm joking. I love Tagore, though.
Does he hit hard, though? I've never tried him for damage.
He can deal some damage, man. He's kind of like a Mighty Oko, whatever. Like he's got the same base attack, and he's got a similar multipliers actually too. And he's an AOE and a 3-turn cooldown. He can deal some sneaky damage, but he's not like he's a reviver. He's not like a damage dealer carry or anything like that. But I think I would just give a quick shout out to Tuak the Wanderer, man. I really,
he's a nice one too.
He's so good, dude. He's really, really good. He's got the like a lot. I'm not gonna read his whole kit here, but he's one of the only, there's not that many epics in the game who have an AoE decreased speed on a 3-turn cooldown, 100% land rate. He has that. He also has a 2-turn stun and a 50% turn meter fill. Like, dude, that's pretty nasty for an epic, you know?
He brings quite a few things to the table, actually. He's definitely a good, solid epic. I'm surprised he only has 1,000 reviews, though. Honestly,
yeah, I don't know. People, I thought he was like an Amazon champ or at some point or something. Amazon Prime. I don't
remember.
Maybe
honestly.
I'm wrong.
I don't think.
I thought he was associated with something, Battle Pass or something like a billion years ago. I don't know.
Can't remember. Yeah.
Hey, I got the biggest no-brainer in the game.
I know you do, huh?
You got the I forgot which one you got, but Demonspawn, Magnar. I'm not even looking at the rest of these champions.
Nah, it's no point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his value is gonna skyrocket a bit with this. I'm not saying you're gonna see him in Platinum Arena or in a Gold 4 Live Arena, but I feel like from the empowerment, he's really gonna benefit a lot because he's one of the champions that has the highest multipliers as a HP nuker, you know, in the game. You know, of course you have Taras, you have King Narcissus, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm looking at the list if he would not be the next one in line, you know, with the double hit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know do you know what the multipliers are off the top of your head on the A2?
For him, I think it's 0.25.
Well, yeah, then it's definitely one of the hardest hitting in the game because it's a 2-time hitter, you know?
Yeah.
Potentially, you know? So, yeah, I agree, though. I mean, obviously, he's like... I made a video, Skratch, talking about like the best nuker overall to empower in the game.
Oh, okay.
And I chose Fenax. However, I got a lot of comments about Magnar. And like I'm sure you've been here as well after thousands of videos on Raid. it's like as soon as I saw the first Magnar comment, like, oh, I thought it was gonna be Magnar.
You were like, oh, I
shoot,
forgot about it.
I forgot about Magnar. So not to say that Fennex is still not a great option or whatever, but like Magnar is next level because you're empowering him and getting the HP and the more survivability and the whole thing. Just it's beautiful.
100%. He's definitely a very solid pick from here. And while there are a couple of different ones that can do a bit of damage in here, there's no competition in this faction for Magnar, to be honest.
Nice easy choice for me.
Absolutely.
If anybody disagrees in the comments, I want to hear from you on that faction.
Yeah, I'm curious too, actually, if people think that is a better one in that faction. So again, here, Husk is great. I don't feel like he's going to benefit so much from the empowerment. Yeah, the accuracy, the extra stats, the speed. I feel like the best one from here would be Dark Elhain as a nuker. Anax would benefit a lot for Clan Boss too, or other areas, but Dark Elhain, she's such a good counter to your Tormin, bro. Like she'll be having so much fun playing around with Tormin with the passive. When it instantly removes the freeze, then the buffs, then just dealing the damage. And buffing herself with increased attack, tons and tons of damage. And
there's
she's
something
a free
so
champion.
Satisfying about Dark Elhain, just seeing her Death's Majesty, Death's Majesty, Death's Majesty, Death's Majesty.
Tons of fun, actually. Yeah,
I agree. She smacks too. I mean, she hits her, and she's another AoE decreased speed champion. She's very good. Very good.
Yeah, 100%. What you have
Dark
next?
Elves. We disagree on this one. I know from off air we had a little combo.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Kind of just talking about like the best and the worst of the factions in this exercise. And I said, you named a couple, and I said, nah, mine's not that choice, dude.
Yep.
Are you aware of how hard Dirindil nukes?
Oh yeah, I went with Dirindil in the end as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Luria and Lua.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, we have Dirindil in the faction.
Okay,
I missed him, Then I was like, Dirindil, there's no questions asked. Like he's like Alika,
dude. It's weird, man, because his base attack is very low. Below 1400, it's not that good. But he has the ignore defense and dispatch them. Just some abilities just smack in this game, and that's one of them. He also has an incredibly hard-hitting A3 that ignores 50% of target's defense. So yeah, Dirindil. I was so late to the game on Dirindil. It was viewers who commented about like, you got to try Dirindil, and I did, and I was like, wow, they're absolutely right. He's like, to me, he's a top 5 epic nuker, just damage dealer. Like that's just raw damage,
100%. He's very similar with Alika, honestly. I feel like they both have kind of like their own pros and cons, but when we are talking about the damage and what sort of firepower they can bring to the team, I feel like they're very, very similar and kind of like close to each other's level. Definitely Dirindil the best pick in the Dark Elves. Now in the Night Revenant,
you got a tough one, man. This is
I have a tough one
toughest.
because you have Sinesha, you have Skullcrown, you have Faceless, which let's just say is kind of like forgotten by the history. A Kite is again interesting choice. Miscreated monster can benefit from it, but I'm gonna go with Whisper.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Whisper.
I'm like, what about Whisper? What about Whisper?
Just because she deals this extra damage versus bosses, bro. And right now, enemy max HP is capped on all of the bosses, 10%, right? Some cases 5%. So you're like, what are these champions doing? Are they putting in enough damage? But then you have Whisper coming in and just out-damaging all of them because she has this extra damage versus bosses. And she hits so freaking hard with her skills, when you have everything set up perfectly. Defense down, half the weaken. She's gaining the extra turns. Then bang, increase attack, increase crit rate, bang, more damage, puts weaken, ignores defense if the target is under weaken. Tons and tons of things. Yeah, super nasty, yeah.
I completely agree on that one. Skullcrown I love as well, but
yeah, she's awesome. Skullcrown as well, yeah.
All right, it's dwarf time. I don't know who you go with. I think most people would probably go with Gala.
I think so. I wouldn't go with Gala personally.
Okay, me neither. I would go with Filja.
Okay.
She's again like there's 3 epic nukers in the game that I just didn't know about until again viewers, not to keep repeating the same thing, but with Dirindil, the same thing with Filja, and the third one's in Shadowkin. So we'll probably talk about him next, but there are 3 that like my viewers like you have to try. And again with Filja, it's like low base attack. She was like a fusion epic at once upon a time for somebody.
Yeah, she was for somebody. Yeah.
Full turn meter depletion on the A2. That's really good. But this righteous evocation, the A3, it's just like really hits hard, So she would be my choice. I think that Gala might be the might be the better choice because Gala was probably one of the closest to being meta epics. Not that she was like in endgame arena, right? You know, not that she was recently, but before mythical she was, you know, and it would be cool to see a plus for a Gala. Like I bet she could absolutely annihilate in the arena.
Yeah, Gala, she's nice. She was the very first epic champion we ever had in a Summon Rush event. At 10,000 points. I'll never forget that because we were like, wow, 10,000 points. And that was like 4 years ago. You know, we were like, oh my God.
Who would you go with?
Epic.
I'm curious.
So
Yeah.
I had no idea about Filja that she actually smacks, but I'm going to take
Yeah.
you on that and I'm going to build her in one of the.
Yeah, just give her a
coming
shot. Give her a
days.
shot.
I'm
What
going
do
to
you
go
think?
with Morak, bro. Wow.
Okay.
You know, like, I love Morak. She's just so
Yeah.
amazing in the Curse City, especially versus Marichka and Taras. And I just cannot wait to empower mine and just go and one-shot that Marichka and be like, yes, I've done it.
Boom.
You know?
Yeah, she's really versatile, you know. She's still the only epic in the game that has the big version of Strengthen on a 3-turn cooldown, right?
Yep. And ally attack.
She has that Raider Captain ability, I think it's called, the ally attack, which is like so, I think it's only 2 allies, but it's so powerful. Like it's better than people. I feel like people underrate low ally attack abilities, but like you can still get so much value out of them, like even against a Fire Knight or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I'm using her in so many stages versus the Fire Knight though in the Curse City, 100%. She's very solid, yeah, and she can counter attack if she gets attacked while under Strengthen, you know. So he's a very good pick, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shadowkin time. I think it's you, right?
I think it's me, yeah. So from the Shadowkin, like here as well, there are quite a few awesome.
There are
awesome epic nukers.
This is a tough one.
It's a tough one because I'm in between, honestly. In between, if we're talking about PvP, you have Nogorio, you have Gembo. But thinking about it, I've done a recent video on Oboro. I'm gonna go with Oboro, bro. Like she can do so much damage in Hydra, and I can't remember from who. I've seen a team on Nightmare 2+ billion damage with Oboro in the team doing 600+ million on Hydra Nightmare.
Whoa.
Yeah, very solid.
Dude, is it just
the A1? Just A1.
Yeah,
A1.
just the A1, right?
Yeah.
And you're just building her. What's the build? Are they going relentless? Are they going?
No, preferably the best build for her is a 9-piece Slayer because the A1 becomes AOE, so you can repeat the damage, you know, and that really brings in so much firepower out of her. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make a note right now to see if I have Slayer. I don't think I do have enough, but we'll see.
I got fortunate enough. I was waiting to do a video on her since they brought in the Slayer, but I finally got a banner last week, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Nice, dude. Nice. I'm excited for that one. Yeah, I would go Nogorio, I think, but
he's a nice one too. Yeah, I like him a lot.
But yeah, I mean, to your point, there's quite a few here. I'm also very curious about Wuji. You know, if she has her counterattack and then that brings her into AoEs on her A1, the knock on her has been her HP, dude. It's like barely 10k.
It's 10k.
So can you get vis-a-vis empowerment? Can you get her HP so that survivability isn't that big of an issue and test her out for some real damage? I don't know.
I feel like because it's so low, so you're gonna get 40%, so you're gonna get like 4k extra HP on her with empowerment, which it will put you to 14k, but overall you're still not gonna get that survivability out of her, you know. Sylvan Watchers.
We're finally here, man.
We are.
Have you tried have you tested out the damage on I can't even say the new epic, but Quivergrass?
No.
Me neither.
Arweed Quivergrass. I did not. I've seen a video. I've seen a thumbnail from Cold Brew. A must have. Okay. So I haven't tried her yet.
Really?
But I've seen Cold Brew saying is a must have, showing a 1+ million hit in Hydra.
Okay. All right. That's a good little tease there. I'll check that video out. I don't the reviews didn't look promising on her, but I kind of wanted to build her. But anyway, I feel like the easy answer here is Mist Rider Daithy. Nubraids told me it's David. That's how you say that name.
Mist Rider David. David it is. Okay.
Either that or he's trolling me and I'm calling him David. He doesn't look like David to me.
He doesn't look like a David to me either.
It feels like a troll. It does. David. Anyway, so I think he's the easy choice because he's so good, you know?
Yeah.
And he does so much. But at the same time, Just sheer damage. David might still have it, but Pan the Bowhorn, man, this guy smacks as well. Yeah. He brings his own increased attack, big version on a 3-turn cooldown. He brings his own increased speed. He's got a strong AoE on the Emerald Salvo. He's got a ignore defense on his A3 ability, single target.
Yeah.
The thing about him is that like, okay, he deals some damage, but like he's a bit one-dimensional, you know. But if you're just looking for damage from a Sylvan Watcher, I think that Pan is probably the best raw damage dealer from my experience out of the epics.
I was close to build him for the last rotation in the curse series.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like he can deal damage, but it also becomes a well, you know, he can bring the big version of weaken as well against bosses.
Yeah.
So some utility there. He's not like my favorite champion in the game, but I was surprised at the damage he can put out.
Yeah, I actually I was overkilling the waves. I was killing them too fast with double Miststrider deity, so I was like, I need to change something here, so I don't count on the RNG to don't kill them too fast and then get to the second without the cooldown and get smacked. And
I think I know exactly what wave you're talking about.
I think
too.
It was S14 or something like that. I can't remember. It was the Cupidus Venus one, Cardial, Tuha, Alsgar, Valkyries.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different one then. But I was thinking of one that's only epics. Or no.
Yeah, it was only epics. Yeah, it was only epics.
Epics and rares? Yeah, I don't know.
Epics and rares, but was versus these champions that I just named was hardcore, you know? Was one of the toughest for this rotation.
Yep.
And
you know who helped me through that? Bowsmith Flannan was my guy.
Okay.
A rare.
Okay, I haven't went with rares. I went double deity. So I empowered my Miststrider deity to +1, but I kept the second copy. One on stun, one on savage.
There you go, man. You're good to go. Yeah. Would that be your choice too?
Yeah, I would go with him personally as well. But I'm curious what the guys in the chat here would like to empower from these factions. If they have any sort of different opinions compared to what we had and. Yeah, let us know, guys. What are the epics that you empowered so far? You managed to get any +4s? You're getting close to getting any of them? And how are you prioritizing your empowerment? You're doing your faction guardians first, which you should, of course. So definitely let us know in the comments down below. And Ash, it was a pleasure to finally have you on the channel, bro. And
pleasure as always is all mine, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Absolutely, brother. Looking forward to the next one. Hopefully it will be a bit sooner than 2 or 3 months. And guys, make sure you guys head over and check out Ash's video. We've posted there a different one. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.